_kids.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. And if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, kindly do it so that you don't miss any of my videos. So without any delay, let's get started. And today we are gonna learn about another charting library in JavaScript, and that is Chart.js. So today we are gonna learn about Chart.js. It is also a charting library like Plotly. I made the tutorial yesterday only, and day before yesterday. Sorry, and this is just another charting library like Plotly, but there are some differences that we need to note. First of all, there are no like tools and all, right? So that's a good point also and a bad point also, because Plotly says that powered by Plotly, and that does not look good between all the users. And uh, like but why I like Chart.js the best till now is because just look at this. Just look. Yo, that looks so cool. That slick animation it provides without any extra effort. It automatically provides that animation and it looks very, very, very cool. Right? It is giving us what data and all when we are hovering. It's giving us the position of the dot when we are hovering. So it is on 130, right, and 14. So it's on 130. On the on the y-axis it is on 14. So on the 14 line, and on the x-axis it is between 120 and 140. So it's on 130. So it is giving us the dots position information when we are hovering. And this is gonna be a very cool video. So without any delay, let's get started. Dab! Okay, so just need to confirm one thing. Yes. Okay. So over here, first of all, we'll start simple with the scatter plot. So this over here on my screen is a scatter plot. So let's see. So over here, first of all, we are giving a variable xy values, and it is an array of objects, right? And the objects consist of x property and a y property, and that's important. The x property is that where it should be placed on the x-axis. So through the x property, we are saying where should it be placed on the x-axis. So we are first given 50. So for the first dot, we are saying that it should be placed on 50th position in the x-axis. So on 50, this is 50 between 40 and 60. And on the y-axis, we are saying y is 7. So this it is on 7, right, on the y-axis, right? So it is on 7, right? If I just increase y-axis like 14, then just look at this. Look at the slick animation. I'm just focusing on the animation, but you see now it is placed on the 14th position on the y-axis, right? Quite cool. And then we have an x60 and y8. So x is 60 and y is 8, right? So x is 60 and y is 8, right? And so on. We have a lot of dots position, right? And then what we are doing, we are directly passing data to our new chart. And before moving on to this section, I just want to show you that we first of all need to import a CDN, right? So over here I've imported the CDN, right? Chart.js CDN. Okay, so you can find it on CDN.js, right? So I'll show you CDN.js, CDN chart.js. So here we have a chart.js links for CDN, sorry, from CDN, and we have have imported this one, right? So it's 2.9.4. We have imported the previous versions, but the latest one is 3.6.1. So you can import this from Saion.js, and if you want to import my version, it must be over here. It is 2.9.4. 2.9.4. Right, and this is the one we have imported, this one, right? So we have imported this one over here, and then we have a canvas. So in Plotly we had a div, and in Chart.js we have a canvas, right? So we use canvases to plot our basically chart, right? And its width is 100% and max width is 700 pixels. So um, basically you didn't need to give width 100% because automatically, oh, it's a canvas, so you need to give it, right? And the max width is 700 pixels, so the width can't go above 700 pixels, right? So let's move on. We have passed new chart, my chart. So we have given the ID of the canvas where we want to plot our chart, and then we have given an object, right? So we have wrapped everything in an object. First of all, we are giving this type. So the type is scatter, right? So we are creating a scatter chart. So here we are saying type scatter, so it will create a scatter chart, right? Scatter basically is this dotted chart. Okay, and then we have to give some data, right? So in this data is an object, and what we are giving data sets, right? So we need to give a data sets array, right? And in this is an array of objects, so we can have multiple objects over here, right? And we are saying the point radius is basically 0.4, right? So we are giving 4 over here, so it will take the radius as 0.4, right? So I think it will take the radius as 0.4. No, it must be, we are just specifying the radius over here. So the smaller the value, the smaller the dot, right? So you can adjust the radius. Then the background color is RGB 00255, the point background color. So RGB, B stands for blue, and blue is in the end. We have given red and green 0 and blue at the highest. So the dot point background color is 255, right? And then the data is xy value, so we are saying it has to show all the xy values data on our chart, right? And then after the data sets array, after the data object, what we have options. We have an options array. In this we are giving legend, so they can be also legend, but we are saying it display false, so we don't want to display any legend, right? And we are just giving scales then. So these are the scales, right? And on the x-axis we are giving an array, and in that there's an object, there's a ticks property, right? And we are giving it an object which has min 40 and max 160, and this is on the x-axis, so it is taking min 40 and the maximum value as 160, right? And then on the y-axis our ticks are min 6, so minimum value is 6, the minimum value is 6, and the maximum value is 16. So our maximum value over here is 16, right? So quite cool. This was very easy, right? Chart.js is very easy. Very easily you can create charts, plus it provides a very beautiful animation. Look at this, guys. This is perfect for your applications. I'm not saying you shouldn't use Plotly and all, Google Charts and all, but I prefer my Chart.js. It depends according to your usage, right? If you in some scenarios you must need to use Plotly, where you want to edit the chart, work around it, and all. Sometimes you need Chart.js for a professional site, right, where animations show and it looks good. Sometimes you need Google Charts for like any other reason, right? So there are scenarios where you need different types of these different libraries, where you need to use these different libraries. Right now we are on line graph, so we have created these scatter chart, and now we are on line graph. So let's see what we'll have over here. So this is now a beautiful line graph, and we can see a beautiful animation, right? So beautiful animation is coming, and over here there's a different way of creating this. We have to create two arrays, right, for x values and y values. Over here we had an array of objects, but over here this is one of the same things we are seeing. This is saying the first one should be placed on 50 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis, and then 60 on the x-axis and 8 on the y-axis. So like this we have given, and in new chart we are given our canvas where we want to show a chart. Its type is line. So basically this is showing us, it is saying the type is line, so line, right? And then data sets is an array like before, and in that there's an object. You're giving fill false. So fill is basically saying that if we need to fill the part that where nothing is being shown. So if I just do fill true, then we'll see what happens. Boom, looks magnificent. We could have given the fill color also, but we are not going into it. Over here fill false we have given, right? So we don't want it to basically get filled, right? When we fill, we can see kind of the slope of increase, and we can see that with the line also. So fill just makes it look beautiful, and you can just do false or true. Then we have given line tension 0. This is personally, I don't understand what exactly this is, but if we just don't give this, right? So if we just don't give the line tension, then like this will do the lines a bit cursive, and I just figured out that the line tension by default is 0.5, right? And over here line tension is not looking good because this is on 130 and this is on 140, but their y basically on the y-axis they are placed on the same position, but because of the line tension it is looking like from here it is going a little bit up and then coming down. So like it is showing, it is seeming like, it seems like this is a little bit higher though they are on the same position. And you see this when we are hovering, the dot is also increasing its size, right? So if you can see that when we are hovering, the dot is increasing its size, right? So this line tension I prefer to keep it 0, but if you want to, if it affects your chart and makes it look better, you can obviously use it, right? And I'll just show you when we keep it 0.5, that is the default value of line tension when we don't give it. Reload, right? So that's the default value. Then the background color is RGBA 00255 1.0, right? So if I just remove this, then see. So basically that background color was because for the line color and for the dot color, right? Right, so it was for the line color and for the dot color, and then we have given border color RGB is 00255 0.1, so we have given it 0.1 opacity. So let's see if I just remove that. So basically this background color is for the dot color and this border color is for our line color, right? So we have given 0.1 opacity to it so that we can just see the background, right? So the thing below it, right? and the data is y values. So we set the labels, we set the, I don't remember I said about it, labels is x values. So in a line chart we need to give the x values as labels and the data as y values. So this is kind of odd. They could have just kept the same behavior for both of them, but they have kept it different. So this is how you need to enter it. The labels, you need to give your x values in your labels property, and your y values in the data property. And then we have our options. We are not displaying our legend, we are just saying it display false. And because we have already given the labels over here, so the x value on the x position, basically the dots will be placed through this, and plus these labels on the x-axis will also come, right? And when we are giving scales, and in that we are giving the y-axis property only, because it labels basically showed are these x-axis values already. So on the y-axis only we need to give the ticks. So on the y-axis we are showing the y-axis ticks, right? Y values. So 7, 8, 8, 9. So basically we are given it, so it will auto adjust it 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and it is taking like that. Sorry, if we give min 6 and max 16, so it automatically takes what the values. When we give label, it automatically takes what it should keep on the x-axis, but over here in the text we are giving the min and max, so it is keeping that min and that max. Quite cool. I just got somewhat confused over here, but no worries. Now we have multiple lines. So when you need to do comparisons, then what you can do? Yo, this is cool. This is slick, guys. This is looking slick. Let's see the code for this. So we have created an x values array. Then in a new chart we are giving our my chart canvas, and we are giving the type line as before. And in our data we have an object, and we are giving it the labels x values that we needed to give with line, and the data sets are data. So the y values are always changing, right? So for every like line, the x values remain the same, but the y values change, right? So the dots y values by position change. So first dot is on 860 for the first line. So 860, which dot is on 860? 100, 860, 1600, 300. So our red line is our first line, so we have given 860 as the first dot, 1140 as the second dot, and basically we have given the where should it be placed on the basically y-axis, because on the x-axis it is changing by 100, right? So 100, 200, 300, but on the y-axis really the dots are changing the y-axis. On 100 on x-axis it is just changing normally as it were 100, 200, 300, 400, but on y-axis it is changing like 860, 1140, 1060, and we have 1060, right? And we have given some data. We have given the border color for red, so it is taking the border color red, plus it is taking the dots border as also red, and then we are giving fill false. So this part we are saying it shouldn't fill. Then similarly we are given another object in our basically in our data sets array, right? So we are giving another object in our data sets array, right? So this is why we give data sets as an array when we need to have to compare two or more data, right? That's why we need it. So over here we can give some data like this, 1600, 1700, and more data like this. So we are giving some data, and it is this green line that is our second data. and then this is the blue line, that is our third data. The blue line is our third data, right? Quite cool. And in the options we have just given one option, that is legend is display false. Now how can we create linear graphs, right? Now how can we create linear graphs? Let's see what we have. Cool, right? Let's see the code for this. And over here we have x values as empty array, y values empty array, and then we are calling a generate data method, passing it a string in which there's an equation x into 2 plus 7 0 10 0.5. Okay, so in our generate data we have value I1 I2 and step, and if we don't pass step then it will be set as 1. And we're looping for x equals I1, so we have given 0, right? So for x equals 0, x less than equals to I2, so x less than equals to 10, x plus plus, so x plus equals to step, not plus plus. 0.5 is a step, so this will loop 20 times, and it is adding in y values. It is evaluating the value, so the eval method will really evaluate the value of this. So first time it will give 0 into 2, that is 0 plus 7. First time this will give us 7, right? And it will just push 7 in y values. The second time it will give us x into 2 plus 7 9, right? So it will push 9, and in x values it is just pushing x, right? And then in our new chart, what we are doing, we are giving the type line, the data in that we have labels x values, right? So the labels are x values, right? And in datasets, fill is false, point radius is 1, right? So the points will be very small. Border color is RGBA 255,000.5, and the data is y values. So the data is y values. So the y values, we added all the data in the y values through our generate data method. And in options we are just saying legend. We are not showing any legend. We are giving title display true, so we want to show the title. Its text is y equals x into 2 plus 7, so that's our title. And then the font size is 16, so maybe 16 pixels, so this is coming in 16 pixels. And yeah, here we have our linear graph. Quite cool. Now we have function graphs. Let's see. In this, nothing is changing. Instead of the equation. In equation, we are just giving math dot sine x. So we are taking out the sine value of x, and that will be added in our y values, right? And our step is 0.5. So 20 values will be added in y and x, right? And in y values, the sine value will be added of x, right? Right, so look at the animation. And we have also changed the title, that is math.sine x. What we could have given, we can have given cosine also. So instead of sine, we could have found out the cosine also. So if we just run this, we have the cosine, right? So sine, we showed the sine and cosine waves, right? Now we are on to bar charts. So we saw linear graphs, line graphs, and scatter charts, right? And now we are on bar charts. So the x values that will be shown on the x-axis are Italy, France, Spain, USA, Argentina, and the y values are 55, 49, 44, 24, 15, and the bar colors. So every bar color will have a different color: red, green, blue, orange, brown. And then in our new chart we are giving our canvas ID my chart, and the type is bar, so we need to give the type as bar. Our data will be labels x values, so the labels will have x values. So the labels that will be shown on x-axis will be x values, and data sets is an array, and like it can have multiple objects. We have given only one, and the background color we are saying is bar color, so the background color is all the bar colors, right? And the data is y values, so the data is y values. This is basically saying that each item, like Italy, France, Spain, USA, Argentina, what height should it have. So Italy should have 55 height, France should have 49. France, basically y-axis is on 49, Spain will reach till 44, USA will reach till 24, and Argentina will reach till 15, right? And our options is legend is for display false, so we are not showing the legend, and our title is display true, so we are saying it should show the title, and our text is bold wine production 2018. So basically this is showing us that in 2018 Italy produced the most wine, then France produced, then Spain produced, then USA produced, and then Argentina produced. We cannot see the Argentina value because it is just starting from 15, right? So if we would have given the minimum value, then we could have seen it, right? So if we would have given it like a minimum value in our options, like we give, like if I go up somewhere, yeah, so our scales in that y-axis ticks min 6, max 16. We'll just give the minimum. Let's see if that works. We'll just give the minimum value. It's not working. That's fine. We can give basically we need to specify a minimum value and then it will show up. And if you just want to keep the same colors of all the bars, then we can just give in our bar colors, instead of giving an array, we can give it a single color. So we want to keep the color of all the bars blue, that's why we are just given a single color blue, and we can see all the bars as blue color. And now we can also have horizontal bars, and in this only one thing changes. We just need to say that its type is a horizontal bar, and it will change basically the thing, right? So it will just rotate this thing, right, and rotate the whole chart, and that will become our horizontal chart, right? So it is just rotating the chart itself, and basically we have an horizontal chart. Quite cool, right? Perfectly working. Now let's see how to create pie charts. So in this pie charts we have y values, x values, and our bar colors. Bar colors are basically we could have named it something else also, like pie colors, right? So this is for every arc in our pie, right? Every color in our like Italy will have this color, France will have this color, Spain will have this color, right, and so on. And then we are just creating a new chart. We are passing it basically our canvas ID, right, and type is pie, right, and our data has labels x values, right? So the labels are x values. Data sets, in our data sets we have background color, bar colors, so all the pies will have the colors that we specified for them, and the data is y values. So our data is y values. So now it will show basically. Okay, so our basically data has y values. So y values we have 55, 49. This could have been more meaningful if we just renamed it, but over here we can see Italy is 55 and its color is the corresponding color over here, right? And in our options we have title, display true, text is world wine production 2018, right? So over here there's the legend and worldwide production 2018, right? Quite cool. These were pie charts, and now similarly we have donut charts. They have everything the same, but one thing changes, and that is the type donut, right? So only the type changes and we'll have a donut chart. Nothing is there different between pie and donut charts. The difference is that we can see just this this empty circle in between that looks like a donut. I love donuts, right? Quite cool. Now we have a radar chart. This radar chart, most people don't know about it, and it has long code also. But let's see it. Let's see it. What happened? Oh, I just didn't pass this to new chart. That's surprising. New chart. You give it the my chart canvas, and we'll give a config, and then we'll just give it our data. Now this should work. Yo, look at this! So this is basically, I'll just give you a brief because most people don't know about it. This radar chart can be used like to compare two people, right? So this radar chart we can use to compare two people. We'll see the code afterwards, but first we'll study the radar chart. So over here it is comparing eating. So this person eats 65, right? So this is basically representing how much does he eat. So this person, red person, is eating more than the blue person, right? Then we are comparing drinking. So this red person is drinking more than the second person. Then we are comparing sleeping. This red person is sleeping a lot more than this blue person. How we are able to know this? We are able to see the difference between these two, right? So the difference between these 2 points we are able to see, and that's how we can tell that this red person is sleeping much more than the blue person. Then we have designing. So this red person is designing a lot more than the blue person. Then coding we have. So this blue person is coding a lot more than the red person. Cycling. So this blue person is cycling less than this red person. Running, this blue person is running much more than the red person. And we are back to the eating, right? So we are able to compare qualities of two persons through this radar chart. So let's see. Over here we have given the labels. So the data, they have a data object. We have a data object, and in that we have given labels is an array in which we are seeing all the labels that are here, right? So eating, drinking, sleeping, designing, coding, cycling, running. Then we have data sets. So over here in this we have two data sets because there are two people we are comparing. The first one has the label my first data set, right? And the data is 65, 59, 90. So 65, 59, 90, right? And so on. Then we have given fill true, so we have set this to be filled, right? If we just give this false, so the first one won't be filled. Then we have given background color RGB A 255 99 132 0.2. So background color and border color are the same as the line chart. They work the same as the line chart. The point background color, so these point background color, they have a background color for the first person. It is like 255 99 132, so a reddish color. And then the point border color is FFF, right? FFF is, I think, ooh, quite cool. So the point border color, we have given it FFF, so that is white, right? And a point hover background color is FFF, so when we hover it, it will become white, right? And point hover border color will change to red, right? And then same, we have the second data set over here, or second person. And then in a configuration object, we have given the type to radar. Our data is data, right? So our data is this whole data. Our options is basically elements. We didn't need to give this, right? So our options is elements. In this we have given something elements, and then we have given line, and in that we have a border width 3. So this border width 3, let's see what it does, right? So let's remove this. Let's keep this an empty object. I could not see any change. What happened? If we just command Z, let's see. Guys, I don't know what this border width thing is doing. I just took this from the documentary. So I really don't know what this border width is doing. So please comment down below what you think this border width is doing, because I'm not able to note any difference, right? So this was our reader chart, and very interesting for me and my sister. We can do some serious comparisons in between us, right? Now we have our polar area chart. So this chart is just like a pie chart, right? So this is just like a pie chart. Yeah, so we are on the polar area chart. So in this polar area chart, what happens, the basically angle does not change. Like in the pie chart, the angle changes. In this, the angle does not change, but the radius of our, basically the radius differs, right? So over here, this radius differs from this, right? So the radius differs, but the angle does not change, right? So let's see. In data we have labels: red, green, yellow, gray, blue, and data sets. In that we have a label, my first data set, and in that we have a data 11 16 7 3 14. So this is our data 16 11 14 7 3, right? And our background colors, the first item has a background color of blue, reddish color. Our second item has some other color, like a teal type color, right? So we have given different background colors also. And in our config we have given type is polar area, so to create a polar area, and the data is data, and options is empty object, so we are giving no options, right? So we don't need any options. And I don't know why this has been given over there, but it was not needed, so we just pass it my chart and config, and then we'll have our polar area chart, right? And that animation just broke, and now it is coming beautifully. right? And finally we have our bubble chart. So we have constant data, right? And in this we have data sets, right? Label is first data set. So in this bubble chart we show what is the data using the size of a bubble, right? So we see the size of a bubble and compare data, right? So our data is basically, we have an array of objects. Our first object is basically one dot. So that dot has x of 20, y of 30, and the radius of 15, right? So we compare the radius of the circles, right? So this first one has basically 20 as x, so x is 20, y is 30, and the radius is 15, right? Radius is 15. And the second one has x 40, so x is 40, y is 10, y is 10, and we have radius of 10. So we can compare the data by looking at the radius, and this we can see is much more data because its radius is greater, right? 15 is greater than 10, plus we can see it on the where it is, we can look at this and say that this dot is bigger than this one, right? So on the 40 and 10 one is a smaller one than 30 21, right? We can see that and tell like this is much more data than this, right? And then sorry, this is much more than this, not much more data, that is much more than this one, right? And then we have just given the background color same for all of these, a pinkish color. And in a config, oh man, this data is given. So in our config we have given type bubble, data is data, and we have given options as an empty object, right? Quite cool. And guys, I hope you liked the video on Chart.js, and personally this is my favorite charting library. I hope you like this video. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button and share this video with as many people as you can. Thank you guys, bye, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep watching my videos. Dab!